Hello, I'm David Mendenhall with Siemens. I'm here today at this site, and I'm going to go over some simple procedures and introduce you to this system. This is the one line. This is important to know and understand what this is. This is the facility right here, including everything coming in from the utility all the way through the end units, all the way down there. Understand what this is and does is very important. The most important thing I'm going to talk to you today about is safety. Safety is critical, and it's important to everybody's life and safety, for sure. This is a service entrance. This is some digital metering. This has lots of great information. This is one of the things that's covered in here, and in the O&Ms as well. There's instructional information in the O&Ms on top of that. Cool. Main breaker. Right now it says that it's closed. That's red. That means it's closed and energized. If this was tripped, it would show tripped, and you pump the handle until it goes green again. This is only done by authorized personnel after you figured out why it tripped. You cannot just come in and reset the breaker, and that's with any of these breakers. If this breaker tripped, it tripped for a reason. So don't just turn it back on again. Find out what the problem was. This breaker did its job and open the circuit to protect equipment and life. Again, another breaker, another meter. All of this stuff is clearly identified in the O&Ms. If you have any questions about it, please contact your supervisor, or you can reach out to Siemens or your contractor. I believe they're going to leave some contact information with some cards and some emergency numbers and stuff. That's an excellent source. If something happens, make sure you clear the problem before you reset it. Okay, now we're going to talk briefly about maintenance. Maintenance is done by authorized and qualified personnel only. All the maintenance procedures will be clearly identified in the O&M manuals. Each one is specific to the type of product. For example, these smaller distribution breakers have different maintenance procedures than this larger molded case breaker. The lubrications are different. The procedures for the maintenance are all different. A maintenance schedule is important. All of the maintenance information, lubrication, maintenance schedules, maintenance procedures, is clearly identified in the O&M manuals. I'm briefly going to go over if a breaker is tripped. Right now this is shown in the on position. If it was all the way over to this side, it would be in the off position, and right here on this line is the tripped. It'll be about halfway. This means that this breaker did its job and opened the circuit. It's the same thing for this larger frame. Off on this side, on this side, and right in the center is tripped. You'll see, it just kind of clicked like that. That's tripped. Do not walk in and reset the breaker until you have identified why it tripped. Once you have identified the cause of the trip, then it can be reset by a qualified person. Here's another example of some circuit breakers. Again, the process is roughly the same. On is in the center, off is on the side, and tripped is right on this line where you can see it says tripped. If the breaker is tripped, it's done its job. Contact somebody to figure out why before it gets reset. As an example, this one's in the off position right now. You've got distribution, more distribution, grounding and bonding point for the facility. All of the main grounds that come from the service entrance, all the UFR grounds, and all of the building steel are all bonded at this grounding point. Preventive maintenance should be done yearly. That recommendation is clearly laid out in the O&M manual, and the procedure is in the manual as well, and should be done by qualified people. You can hire that out, or if you train your guys to do it, they can do it as well. Normally, it requires a shutdown because you'll get inside and vacuum the dust out and verify the connections. All of the procedures and time intervals, are clearly laid out in the O&M manuals, so refer to them. This is a transient voltage surge suppression device. Currently there are 3 green lights. This is exactly what you want to see. They're a dual mode, so when it changes to yellow, that means it's time to service it. When it changes to red, that means it is no longer protecting the system. We have a very good warranty on these. If they fail because they're doing their job, we'll replace it. The Warranty terms and conditions are in the O&M manual. Digital meter, you ready?
Yep.
Again, a digital meter with functions. All of the functions and the parameters are clearly identified in the O&M manuals. Okay, now we're in front of one of the unit panels. This panel is very similar to the breakers that we already showed down there. Same thing, on, off, and in the center is tripped. Again, if you find something that's tripped, identify why it is tripped before you reset it.